Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. Hey, I am so super pumped you're here. It is July 19th, 2021, and we are ready to really rock and roll today and have some fun. Excited for the week ahead. We've got a good one. We are going to be talking about listening and understanding expectations. I think it's one of the most critical factors to having success is to understand this idea of expectations, and we're going to get into it this week. So what we got today is we're going to do listening and understanding expectations. Tomorrow we're staying on rocket fuel, part 3. We're going to get into some practical applications. In fact, we're going to go over one of the chapters I think is the most important chapter in the book. Excited about that, so you want to be here tomorrow. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about the power of influence and influencing others. And if we go back to how to win friends and influence people, but really the power of that there is in it, and you can do that. And I can't wait till Wednesday. It's going to be a great day. Thursday, of course, is Ask JB. Questions are answered to get you, the questions I have coming in. Always a fun day. Friday, we got dealing with disappointment, yours and others. Another big thing with expectations. How do we deal with disappointment? We're going to get that Friday. Saturday, Systems Saturday, listening skills and understanding. If you're going to be here on Saturday to join us, I think it's a good one for you. And then Spiritual Sunday, where we're going to be talking about some spiritual communication. So it's an exciting time here at Morning Coach. It really is. We've got a lot of great things going on, and I'm super pumped that you're with me. It's all about the energy. We're bringing in a new system. It's working really great. I'm just having fun. This Friday, we're going to close our Morning Coach memberships and all of our memberships, just so you know, until the next launch. There's a few people out there, maybe you have some friends that are interested in getting involved. Well, we are closing the beta memberships, just so you know. But today, let's get right into it. I want to talk about the expectations in life. It's one of the most critical conversations we can have. Hey guys, it's JB here. Thanks so much for listening as always here to the show. Just a quick note, we're going to be moving away from this free ad-based podcast or CoachCast because we've built some really awesome things into our new system. Also, we're going to be closing down our memberships as of this Friday. So if you want to continue to listen and be a part of what we're doing, this is a perfect time to get signed up. Head over to morningcoach.com. Click that Join Now button before Friday because we're going to be removing a lot of these and taking this down. If you're currently a member and for some reason you're hearing this, make sure you send us an email at info@morningcoach.com to make sure you're getting the new private member-only feed through morningcoach.com. Okay? So we'll see you over at morningcoach.com. Now back to the show. So when we talk about expectations, we've got to talk about two types, right? There's your expectations on life, and then there's other people's expectations on life. Those are the two things that we've got to talk. So how do we manage them? How do we manage our expectations? And is it important to manage expectations? Well, let's talk about our own expectations. So as anybody that coaches anybody, and especially let's go to my pro athletes. Let's talk about my pro athletes. I got a couple playing down in Mexico this weekend. We want to expect the best. We want to expect the best. We want to go out there and play the best that we can. Just like in life, we want to expect the best that we possibly can. That's important. But we've got to manage that expectation. Because if we expect to go out there and win the tournament and we don't, it can actually become a very negative thing. If we expect to become a billionaire and we don't, it can be a very negative thing. So we've got to expect the best up to your belief level. And that's what's so important. I'm going to equate it to golf because it does make sense here. So every time I go play golf, I believe I'm going to break par. Par is 72. That means you're going to finish the round with 72 times hitting the ball. But I've never done it before. I've only broke 80 once or twice, right? I've shot 79. That's my best score ever. So I want to go out there and expect that I'm going to shoot a 72. But if I go out there and I have a bogey and I go out there and have a double and I'm just not playing good at the beginning, if my expectations are out of whack, all of a sudden it ruins my game. It ruins the entire day. I get frustrated. Well, I'm not going to hit my expectation. Who cares? Well, I've never hit that before in my life. It's the same thing when people expect to make millions of dollars coming out of the gate in business. If you go on Kajabi's forum, which is obviously growing, I didn't realize how big they are. They're getting bigger and bigger. That is the platform that we use for business. you can go on our tools page and you can click it and learn more. But you go there and you listen to some of the brand new people that are just getting started that want to go out there and build a business that involves working with other people, right? And whatever it is, whether it's macrame, that's an old school word, right? Or whether it's coaching, or whether it's, teaching, how to write an encyclopedia. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that are looking to get in business and they want to make millions of dollars. And every day, there's somebody that posts in there, I don't understand. I put my stuff up and nobody bought it. And it's crazy because they have this expectation that they're going to make millions of dollars right out of the gate. Just like I did. When I wrote Get Out of Neutral, the first book that I wrote, I literally thought we were going to sell millions of them. That's a whole story for a different show, but the expectation was there. And in the first month when it didn't happen, I was devastated. I was crushed. So how do we expect the best? From a metaphysical standpoint, law of attraction, we always say that to manifest it, we've got to go out there and believe it. We got to go say, I'm going to make $1 million, right? I'm going to go sell 1 million books. We don't want to shake that belief, but we've got to understand where you are at and where you're starting. And you got to be able to have that belief level at a high level. Greg, again, I always talk about Greg Gantt, he's in our inner circle, but Greg sent me he's taken up golf again, and he sent me a message about how he's playing. And he said one of the things he's doing is, instead of worrying about his to par, which we just talked about, he's playing his own game. He understands that right now, bogey golf, just getting back and started, is probably pretty good. So if he can get bogey golf, which would be 9 over on the front or 18 over total, then he's looking pretty good, right at that 89, 90 range, right? So you're talking about 44, 45, 46 for 9 holes is actually pretty good where he's at. Now, if I took one of my pros who shoots a 64, which is his best, and he went to shoot a 64 to 65, and I told him, you're going to play bogey golf, he would go absolutely insane. He said, no way, what are you talking about? I don't even make bogeys. So it's all about you at an individual level of the way that you're playing your game, which I think life is. It's really about the game that you play. And then the measurements need to come from your own particular situation. Because if I look back now, and that guy that wanted to be the millionaire and wanted to sell all the books was sitting where I'm sitting right now, right? He would have been extremely pleased with where he is. Like, if I was back to when I first started, especially when the books didn't sell, and could be where I'm at, working with you and people all over the world, doing the things that I'd love to do, he would be, gosh, I would have signed up for that immediately, right? But now I'm sitting here and I'm going, wow, we've got so much work to do. Like, we've got to grow. It's time to build the best holistic coaching program on the planet. That's what I want to do, encompassing business and health and everything. That is my focus. That is my mission. I want the best holistic coaching program ever created in the planet. And so I'm in a totally different mind space than I was back then. So I have to play my game, and I've got to keep my expectations in check, because I know where I'm at now and where we need to go involves a lot of work, and I've got to build a lot of systems out. And that's what this whole year has been about, my next evolutionary stage. And same thing with you. You've got to manage your expectations, and you got to manage them in a way where you expect the best. You go out there and do your best, but you got to understand your belief level, and you can't get disappointed. And that's the big thing, because you got to enjoy the process. The process, as I told somebody in that Kajabi group, I said, it's a battle of attrition, especially when you get into some of the ILD style businesses that are out there. For some reason, so many people believe, well, I think it's because a lot of the gurus teach that you just do these things, create residual passive income, and you never have to work again. That's not true. That's so far from the truth. But so many people think that they just want to go sit underneath a coconut tree and drink, out of a coconut. And I get it. I want to do that too, but you're going to have to work. And I can do that. I mean, heck, I'm in Indiana right now. It's the 19th of the month. I've been here almost 4 weeks or 3.5 weeks. And I'm on basically a vacation, but I'm working. I'm here, right? And part of that reason is because I'm driven by the fact that I know I need to grow. And in order for me to be my best and meet my expectations, I got to get better. And so I'm reading Rocket Fuel and trying to let go of things and let other people help me. I'm reading Story Brand and figuring out how we're going to market our next step, and that's why we're, closing down the Morning Coach membership and closing down the betas, because for, you're grandfathered in, but the price is going to go up. And that's just the nature of what I do. And it is what it is. At this point, I'm ready to evolve and do some really cool things. So how do you manage yours? You expect the best. You build your belief level, but understand where your belief level is, and you play your game, and you play it to where you're at, not somebody else. Okay? So that's your expectations. Now, when it comes to others, this is really critical. So we're going to get into influence a little bit on Wednesday. But when it comes to others, they're going to come to you with expectations. And you're going to see the expectations. And it's a two-way street. I've told this to my coaching clients for years, our mastermind members. It's a two-way street. Like, you're going to expect them to do stuff. And typically with the people that do a lot, our expectations get elevated. And then when they don't do a lot, our expectations, we get upset or we wonder what's going on because our staff isn't working the way they should be or the way we expect them. Well, that's mismatched expectations. And they have expectations from you too. Maybe it's just consistent pay. Maybe it's a raise every year, but they're going to have expectations from you. And you've got to be able to understand that from what you expect from them and what they expect from you. That's why I always say that it's really important to listen and have those meetings. Those expectation meetings with team are so critical, okay? But what you've also got to work on with your leadership skills when it's dealing with other people, and we'll get into this on Wednesday, is empathy and authority. And being able to be empathetic and be able to understand where somebody is and be able to walk in their shoes is so critical. But then you've got to have some authority. And the way to think about this is if you want to lose 30 pounds and you go to a nutritionalist and you say, I want to lose 30 pounds. And the nutritionalist comes back and says, I want to lose 30 pounds too, right? There's no authority there. Like that person, how is that person going to help you? They're empathetic, right? But there's no authority. Where in a different case is you went to somebody who says, I want to lose 30 pounds. They go, gosh, I lost 30 pounds, years ago. I can help you with that. See the difference in the way that you're empathetic, but yet you still have authority? And that's the difference that we got to do when we're understanding expectations with other people. We've got to come to that level and be empathetic, but we can't do it without some authority. If you don't have authority, nobody's going to listen to you, and you're not even going to be able to get yourself to that expectation, right? So for me, in dealing with you and our relationship, if you think about that, your expectation is that I bring you things that are going to help you succeed in life. Typically more ILD. We're getting more people coming to us for ILD now, and that's cool because it's what I love to teach, helping people live a new life, helping people live their best life, but they're expecting some ideas and techniques and thoughts that are going to really make a difference for them. Also, you're expecting to be here every day, right? You're expecting me to show up and give you the energy in the morning. And you're expecting that I have some empathy. I mean, the reason that I think most people come to Morning Coach and the things that we do is because they can relate to what I'm doing. They know I'm real and I live what I teach. And that's the authority part, is that you can see the people that are having success, the people that we've manifested, the things that I've done, the books I've written, and you know that I have the authority and I can help you because I've been there and I live this. I'm just not teaching it from a book. It's actually how I live my life. So when you're dealing with others, you've got to learn to listen better. That's one of the skills that we're going to work on this week. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot. And if you take one thing away from today, just remember we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. There's a reason God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. That's because we're supposed to listen more than we talk. And to expand your authority and to understand expectation and be more empathetic, we've got to be able to listen. And then once we listen, we can start to understand where somebody's at. And we can understand our own expectation for somebody else and our expectations for what they expect from us. And this goes with your children. I mean, this goes across the board, your parents, family. Understanding expectations will literally change your life. Your staff, your team, people around you, your friends. What do they expect? And once you understand that, then you can see, are we going to meet those expectations or are we not? And that's one of the things we're working really hard here is I'm trying to exceed the expectations. I'm trying to make this, and I said, the best holistic meaning all areas of life, coaching program on the planet. That's my dream. I just want people to be successful in all areas of life. I want people to be able to lose 30 pounds and come here. That's fine. That's part of life. If you understand intelligent life design and the things that I've created over the years, it's about your particular journey. It's about what you're on, not what everybody else is on. It's about you as an individual. I think I said it last week that, I'm like the squire, a squire who brings the lance and the armor and everything to the knight. and helps the knight along the way. And usually the squire is, a pretty intelligent person there, and that's the person that's helping the knight become the champion. And that's what I am. I'm the guide. I'm here to help guide you down the path. If you think of Yoda in the Star Wars, I would never say I'm as wise as Yoda, but that's what I'm here. You're a Jedi and you're coming to learn, and I'm living the life, and I want to give you that information and help guide you to where you need to go. And some days you need energy. Sometimes you need to lose weight. Sometimes you need to be a little more spiritual. Sometimes you need business advice. Sometimes you need family advice. That's the difference between what we do and everybody else out there, and hopefully I'm meeting or exceeding those expectations. That's what my job is, right? And so understand life and understand expectations. That's what I want you to do as you move forward today. It's very important. It's part of the fun of life. Like I said, you got to enjoy the process. And the more we can get the negative away, which is when somebody feels or somebody is not meeting your expectations or you're not meeting theirs, it makes life so much better. So let's work on our expectations today, not only our own, but understanding other people. And you're going to see how that's going to fit into everything that we're doing and why that's so critical this week, specifically as we get into influence and we really start figuring out that empathy and authority. Okay, so get out there, have a great one. Massive energy to you today. It's going to be a great week, I promise you. Let's go make it great. Believe, achieve, and focus on the best, but set those expectations properly. Okay, I love you. Go do it to it. I'll be here tomorrow with you right here on morningcoach.com.